Alright, welcome everybody. This is gonna be another build guide for last Epoch. We have Beastmaster with Squirrels this time around. I finally got a chance to play this build. And let's go into an Echo here, see how the build works. We're at 430 corruption here. So we are stacking as many Maelstrom stacks as we can. Usually around Echoes we are actually having about 15 to 18 stacks. And we can go 20, 22 even on some bosses. But yeah, we are having a very good clear on this build with the setup that I have gone, and also because I don't really enjoy playing glass cannon builds, I'm actually very tanky on this version that I have went for here. As you can see, damage is pretty good, clear is good, we're having a lot of buffs, and I am going to explain to you exactly how the build works. We're gonna go to the dummies. So as I was saying, usually squirrel builds are glass cannon, they have insane damage. You may have seen some footage that they're killing Jura in like 3 or 4 seconds, but I am not a big fan of the glass cannon variant, and also these builds usually are not very good for echo farming. So we're gonna have to explain what's going on here. Let's go to the dummy. Our swipe is giving us a lot of different buffs. One of them, of course, is gonna be Aspect of the Stark, and Aspect of the Panther is only for us. It doesn't really do a lot for our minions, but we are proccing a lot of Spirit Wolves from our swipes, and also we are regenerating our mana, as you can see. Now, we are also using Frenzy Totem to buff our minions, Warcry and Maelstrom. Our Warcry also procs a lot of Maelstroms for us, and the linchpin of the build, the Wolves, of course. We're gonna go straight to the planners here. I have 2 planners for you. One of them is what you need to start the build. Now, keep in mind, this build is not very early game friendly. You need a couple of uniques, a couple of decently rare uniques as well to make it happen. One of them is gonna be Herald of the Sky here. This is what turns our wolves into squirrels and gives them a bunch of different buffs as well. We're getting the plus level to summon wolves, and we're getting some shreds, we're getting Suns to Bleed, and also it changes Howl into Skewering Rage, which basically is a buff that gives them a lot of movement speed and attack speed. So the other thing that we are using the build is Apogee of Frozen Light. You can use 2 of them, you can dual wield, that's gonna give you a lot more levels on your squirrels. We are using Death Rattle as our amulet. I would honestly wanted to use Frozen Eye of Formosus, but unfortunately when we're getting the cold tag on our squirrels, they don't get a base freeze rate multi, so Eye of Formosus doesn't do anything for us. Ribbons of Blood is a really nice unique ring for us here as well. Extra damage and a nice amount of leads for our minions so that they can stay alive. And Julia's Path. This is actually very important. If you want to start the build, I would say Herald of the Scary and Julia's Path are the 2 things that you need. Apogee is really nice, but you can just use an axe or a sword with minion melee damage on suffix, and you should be good to go at the start of the build. Now, let's get into the skills first, and we're gonna talk more about the gear afterwards, because that's gonna make a little bit more sense. We're gonna go for the Summon Wolf first. We are traveling here first. Tundra Stalkers is what makes the minions cold, and also what is gonna allow us to take advantage of the extra levels on our from our Apogee of the Frozen Light. We're traveling down here, we're getting +1 maximum combining here, +1 maximum combining here. Now, the most important nodes is Legendary Bite here. This is how we are capping our crit for our minions very easily. We're getting 75% more melee crit. And Savage Hunters on the hunt and Howl of the Might are the more damage multipliers that we need to get 100%. Those are the best nodes on the tree. I'm having one value point here for the stun immunity. So once I started pushing close to 400 corruption and above, one thing that I've noticed is that some of the abilities of our enemies stunned my squirrels, and then the best elemental spells that are coming onto them were killing them because they were not attacking, they were not leeching, so they were dying basically a little bit off screen as well. So I took that one here. It actually helps quite a bit. My squirrels don't die off screen anymore, and it's pretty good. We don't scale a lot of minion health on this build. Unfortunately, we don't have that luxury, so our squirrels are a little bit on the squeezy side. You need to be aware of that. Now let's go to swipe. Swipe is purely for a couple of buffs. We're getting the kill threshold, of course, and this is the most important part. We're getting 9 mana every time we're hitting one enemy. We are also traveling 3 points on the aspect of the Panther, and that's because we want to unlock Wild Calling. This gives us Spirit Wolves a little bit extra single target, and we're getting Feline Hunter for the extra attack speed for ourselves, so that we can swipe faster. Now, apart from that, as you can see, I have 2 points left on the swipe. This is everything that we want out of the skill. I'm usually putting them here for the extra area, because it's a little bit more quality of time or quality of life on Echoes, but you can do whatever you want. Those are flexible points. Now let's go to the Maelstrom first. Maelstrom, here we're going for the Beneath the Waves to get the Lagoon Slumbers. Basically those stacks, they're charging up, and whenever you're casting manually your Maelstrom, you're getting 3 stacks instead of 1. Maximum duration, of course, we're getting mana efficiency, and we're getting haste and frenzy at 6 or more stacks. And then we are traveling down here for the healing per second. This will make sense in a little bit. This is very important though, so make sure you're maxing out. Warcry, we're traveling to the cooldown recovery rate. We're getting the invulnerability, of course. We're getting the healing whenever we're popping Warcry, and cleanse ailments. That's really good quality of life right there. And we are getting 4 Maelstrom stacks whenever we're popping Warcry. And we are traveling down here. We are making it cold. This is extra cold damage for the minions affected from Warcry, and we're getting the crit chance right there. Now let's finish up the skills with the Frenzy Totem. Frenzy Totem is pretty flexible here, because we are activating the Apogee effect. We are getting a Frenzy effect on our minions anyway, so we are not really using Frenzy Totem during Echoes. This is more of a single target thing. Now the most important ones is grounded here. We're getting a lot of flat melee on our minions, and down here, because we are making Frenzy, only affect our companions with higher effect. We're also gonna travel right here in the Furious Cry. This is gonna be refreshing our companion ability. It's really good. At the start of a fight, you're pressing your Skewering Rage, you're popping your Frenzy, and after a few seconds you can again press your Skewering Rage, so you're always giving the extra attack speed buff to your minions. And also with the Frenzy, we are getting extra crit right here. Now, this is a little bit of a weird pathing and not a usual one. You don't have to go right here. You can go the Frenzy effect. I'm not using Frenzy Totem that much. That's why I didn't opt into it, but it's definitely a nice option. I also took Warding Totem here. This is more physical and elemental resistances for our squirrels. Once we are at bosses, most likely that's a little bit extra survivability. I'm doing whatever I can to keep my squirrels alive for the few seconds that we usually need to kill the bosses. We don't take a lot of time, even on this version, because I went for extra tankiness on this version of the build, but we still have a lot of single target. Now, I'm gonna talk about the gear and the idols. The idols first, because we have a very important one. So we need this ornate idol with a prefix for the bees per 10 seconds. This is the most important idol on the build to start with, because our bees are dying, so whenever we're hitting with our swipe, we are activating the last part of the apogee here, and we are giving more damage against chill enemies. Our enemies are always chilled, and we are giving them frenzy. so minions get significantly buffed out of it. Now we are using 2x2 adorned idols with healing effectiveness on the prefix. That's very important, and you can get minion melee attack speed or minion crit on the suffix. Attack speed is a little bit more important. One large idol with just increased health. On the suffixes you can get crit avoidance, you can get resistance, you can get minion damage, you can get whatever you want to fill up the gaps on your build. We don't have any grand idols that are very good for the build, so I'm just going for a Terran here with vitality, extra hit points, a little bit of extra resistance as well, and just 3 small Terrans with healing effectiveness and poison. As you can understand, we are scaling healing effectiveness, right? On my actual build, I have over 600 healing effectiveness. That makes it so that they heal from Warcry over here, and the stacks of Maelstrom heal is very high, so we have extremely high recovery rate. That means that if we increase our hit points good enough and we have our endurance capped, whatever doesn't one-shot our character, we always gonna be recovering very fast. And Warcry is an emergency heal, always there. It right now in my build it actually heals me for over 2000 instantly, so it's extremely good recovery rate. Avoid the one-shots and you should be extremely tanky. I've tanked everything. I have even tanked Jura's Blast by mistake a little bit, but yeah, I had a really scuffed and very fun run in tier 4 Jura with this build, other than the clean ones that I had. I'm gonna post the fun one though, so that you can see how tanky the build can be and how you can handle bad situations where your squirrels might die and things like that. Other than that, you can kill tier 4 Jira very easily as well. It's not gonna be the fastest kill in the world, but it's very clean. Okay, the rest of our gear. Chest piece is very important. We need the minion melee crit chance. Now, with all the buffs into our minions on crit, we can actually get away with tier 5 affix here. If you have tier 6, that's also very nice. I'm having tier 6 on a Titan's Heart on my build, but I'm looking for Ancestral Garb. I want to craft something like that. It's extremely good. We're getting a lot of hit points, and I would like to also seal increased percent armor to increase our armor and our tankiness further. It's not an easy piece to get, but if you can get the minion melee crit chance, you're already good. The other things are very good, just to increase your tankiness and a little bit damage with the minion crit multi. Belt very simple, minion damage, minion health on the prefixes, and suffixes increased health and cooldown recovery rate. We do need cooldown recovery rate on the build so that we can pop Warcry more often, more Maelstrom stacks, more heal and more flat damage for our minions. One turquoise ring. I'm having health as exalted affix here. Anything would be good except crit avoidance, but health is again the best you can get if you can do it. One tier 5 crit avoidance with the blessing, of course, is gonna be capping our crit avoidance. Endurance is pretty easy to come in the build. Now for the relic, you can use Spirit Catcher. I like this base because cold and necrotic resistance are gonna help us cap our resistance very easily. You can get healing effectiveness as exalted. That's the most important part. If you cannot, minion damage or exalted strength is also very good, but healing effectiveness should be one of the prefixes here. And other than that, just health, endurance, resistance you need to cap your build. And for the bracers, this is a pretty easy piece. Just get frailty either here or on your relic. We need one source of frailty chance and just minion damage, strength, and hybrid health. Alright, the blessings are very easily. We're getting void resistance out of Black Sun, we are getting physical resistance from Age of Winter, and we're getting lightning resistance out of Enter the Storm. This should help cap your resistance very easily. We are actually using a lot of uniques, so we need a little bit help on that part. And Spirits of Fire is flat armor. We already talked about Reign of Dragons. This is gonna be your crit avoidance. Now, I'm also gonna be giving you the planner of the importation of my own character. I have made a few changes into this. As you can see, I'm actually using only one apogee, and I am using Cradle of the Erased. Now, the reason that I'm doing that is because I hit tier 7 minion melee damage on my apogee. You can get away with tier 6 as well, it's not a big deal, but I want the extra tankiness. So as you can see, I've hit some big legendaries. You don't need all of them, don't worry about it, but this is the high-end aspiration type of the build, because I want to get as many hit points as I can. I have 3.5k hit points, as you saw on the footage earlier. Now I'm going for healing effectiveness. You don't need to 2 LP on your death rattle, but if you have one, go for life or healing effectiveness. Both of them are insane, but only one. I'm going for life here. Cooldown recovery rate on Julia's Path if you have with 1 LP. This is a rather rare item to get with LP, but if you get 1 LP, get cooldown recovery rate. I'm also using Dedication of the Erased. I am actually looking for a Spirit Catcher to craft. I failed my craft here already once. Unfortunately, my tiers did not go well, and I cannot swap this yet. I have tier 7 healing effectiveness and endurance. This was just a lucky Dedication of the Erased. This is a very strong relic for Beastmaster, but unfortunately the effect you are getting from your hits, it's getting stolen from your bees, so they're dying, and you know, it's getting wasted. So it's not a very good thing for our build. Now let's go into the passives to wrap things up. On the Primal S3 we're getting health, we're getting strength, increased health, and we're getting Harmony of Blades. If you swap into a Cradle, you can get 1 point survival of the pack, basically just a little bit leads for your minions. Let's go to the Druid real quick. 5 points on the plating here for the endurance and armor, and 7 points here. Those 5 points are a little bit of a flex. You can put them anywhere you want. You can get 2 extra points here if you want extra endurance. You can get other things from Beastmaster as well. I prefer the hit points once again. Now we're going for Ursine Strength to get the strength and the reduction on damage. We are activating Aspect of the Board. You can only get 4 points here, but I like the 5 point, just extra duration, better uptime, and of course extra damage reduction here, and the chance to get Aspect of the Board on melee hits. Now we are going on the Aspect of the Shark. This is very important, you need to max this out. That makes your Aspect of the Shark to apply Armor Shred. We are actually hitting over 300 Armor Shred stacks on bosses. It's really fast ramp time, and it's increasing our DPS by a lot. 1 point here so that our companion can get the effect of Aspect of the Shark, so that they actually do the shredding for us. We are also getting 7 points here on OCMO. That's very important. We are actually making so that each attack applies 2 minimum shred armor stacks. That's what makes the ramp up being very fast. You can get away with a couple of less points here if you need to grab something else. That's up to you. Call of the Pack, extra hit points. That says a very good node. We're getting a lot of minion attack speed and minion movement speed, so that it makes higher DPS and better echo clearing. This is melee flat here, and we are activating Aspect of the Links here whenever we are casting Sanguine Skewering Raids. For the extra crit and the extra crit multi, we're getting the maximum 1 companion from Nature's Embrace, and Viper Fangs is actually one of the very strong nodes in the tree, because we are giving our minions a lot of attack speed, and we are getting attack speed ourselves. We need a little bit attack speed to make the build feel more you know, more comfy, and get our mana back a little bit faster. One other option here is Ancient Mind. You're getting strength and melee flat as well, but I found that we have enough downs, we have enough flat, so I prefer getting a little bit extra tankiness, a little bit extra quality of life on some of our passives here. You can always change a few things here and there on the passives, that's up to you. And I believe that's it. Now a few things to talk about our tankiness. Again, make sure that you are getting as much healing effectiveness as you can get on the build. Even exalted healing effectiveness on turquoise ring is gonna be really nice. Having 650, as we can see, our armor is not too bad. I would like to scale it a little bit more, but I'm having trouble with some of my crafts. But the build is functioning very well. Before you get all the legendaries, you can push 300 corruption. I've done that. You're not gonna have any issues with any mods, with any bosses. It's pretty cool, pretty fast. It's an interactive minion build as well, because we are actually need to be casting things all the time. We need to attack as well. So I've been enjoying this build very much. I pushed it to over 400 corruption. I would say you need really good gear to go over that though, because your minions start dying in some situations, and there are a few different things happening. But for 400 corruption farming is perfectly fine. You're gonna be doing completely fine, and hope you enjoy the build. I really have enjoyed this version of Squirrels. I've been trying to get a nice tanky squirrel build for a while, and I think I have a good thing here. So that's gonna be it for me for the build. As always, if you need anything, if you need to ask any questions, if you have any feedback about it, you can drop a comment below, or you can come by my Twitch on my live streams, and we can talk about the build there. Anything you need, I'm always very happy to answer any questions, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much. Bye bye.